guys, welcome to another Dolly or BJD update. I am gonna have a little bit of Alix's story at the end. Yeah, I don't remember if I showed you guys, but I made him a new cloak, and I made him some little sock thingies, and some gloves. But yeah, other than him, I'm actually going to set him on the ground right here. But I have been working on Ava, and just getting this much done for her hair is enough to make me kind of want to start working on the Phoenix sisters a little more. But anyway, like, I got her hairline done. I'm so excited. So now I just have to, I got everything cut out so I can just start rerooting, which I'm probably going to do after I take a shower, because I need to take one. So, she's coming out nice. And then, yeah. I'm losing my mind, I'm sorry. Here's Ava, or not Ava, this is not Ava. Like I said, I'm losing my mind slowly. This is Maya, and I finally decided to just nix the dress that she had on, because I just hated it. It's part of the reason why I kind of just didn't work on her at all. But, like, I put this jumpsuit I had on left over from the Issy Dawn dancer, the one that I made into the deer custom. These were her clothes, and they were just laying around, so I put them on her, and they actually fit pretty well. And it actually looks pretty good on her. I do think I want to make her something that's a little bit bigger than this, like something that maybe goes down to the floor. But I'm not sure if I want to use fabric or if I want to go and use maybe scarf material. I don't know. I haven't totally decided what else I want to do as far as outfit-wise for her. So there's that. And then I still have to work on Willow's outfit. I need to fix it. Redo it, really, not fix it. But there's that. And then one other update I have is I got another outfit for my Barbie. And this is what I call, like, a modern witch. She has the little black shoes that I've had. So, and then I got this dress yesterday, which came with the purse she's holding. And then, it came with, like, some silver shoes, which I don't necessarily like because they were bows and stuff. But when I saw this dress, I kind of thought witch for some reason, and it was Halloween, so that's why the whole witch thing. So she just looks really cute, and I wanted to show you guys that. And I'm really thinking about rerooting her, even though I do kind of love the orange hair. I think I really want this hair. So yeah, I'm gonna post a picture on Instagram with all the different yarn I have, and maybe you guys have an idea of what I could use, or maybe what would look better on her, because I can't. You guys know, I'm horrible at decision making. Although I'm kind of thinking either using something, the yarn I used for the pony custom, the orangey color, or what I used for Fee, or maybe either the dark blue that I used for Ray's pony custom, or yeah, I don't know. I'm like up in the air as far as her hair is concerned. Oh, and my friend Grace actually helped me pick a name for her, which is Billy. And at first I wasn't sure if I liked it, but like anytime I looked at her, I immediately was like, Billy, that's her name. So she's officially named Billy now, which I like. So yeah, she's really cute. I really like her. And that's kind of like all the updates I have now. Not a whole lot, but I thought since I'm doing the story video, I might as well update you with a few things. But anyway, back to Alix, because he's important. He's gorgeous. I have actually been thinking about redoing his face. But I think I've been wanting to do that just because I've been wanting to paint lately. So, who knows, maybe I'll start doing a canvas here pretty soon. But, anyway. Okay, so now here's Alix. And, Alix's story. I don't know. I'm really bad at stories, you guys. So, I'm sorry if nothing I say makes any sense. But, to get a little look, more of a look on his personality, because I know, Hikaku Creations, she had asked about his personality a little bit, and it's hard to put it in text and not in words. So, I thought, not only will I do a story, kind of, the next part of his story a little bit, I will also give you a bit of his personality, which, believe it or not, I think his personality is a little bit like mine, but, I mean, obviously, he isn't just like me, but, he is very much kind of a loner, but it's not really by choice, it's just, I don't know, he's kind of been alienated by not only the village that they live by, but also by maybe a good chunk of the people in the pack, or wolves in the pack. So he doesn't like being around others very much, just because, like I said, they've kind of made him a little more alienated. He does kind of open up, though, after a while, which I'll get into a story later, because I have to do with other characters, so I'm not gonna say it right now. But he's a loner, but he is fairly smart for someone that was just left in a forest, and one that, I mean, there's like no school in their area, or there's not, I mean, their area is a very kind of, trying to think of a good example. Like, if you watch Once Upon a Time, and there's like those villages that have just, but like it's a poor village, it's obviously a poor village. It's kind of like the village he lives near. So, I mean, obviously there's not a lot of learning things in that village. Not to say that people in those villages are stupid. I'm just saying. And the wolf pack, I mean, they don't necessarily, they're more like wild smart, like they know how to track and to do all those things, and like he has learned those things at least, but what made him actually like learning and like that kind of stuff, I guess, was V. V actually traveled the world in order to learn, which, if you guys are wondering how can she do that when she's a wolf, I'll get into that later. But yeah, she helped him learn. She taught him for the longest time, like as a teacher, like think of it just as homeschooling, because she traveled for a good 200 years, and, you know, or 100 years, I think. I don't know, I can't remember my timeline at the moment. That and her timeline is kind of up in the air. I'm still trying to figure it out. But yeah, she traveled to learn not only different types of magic and stuff like that, but she also she likes learning things. She's a very intelligent woman. So very open-minded person as well. So, and so is Alix. He just doesn't like being around people. He's almost like skittish in a way. When he sees people, he just kind of books it the other way. He just doesn't like being around people. He finds them loud and annoying, and a lot of times he just finds it kind of just awkward to be around people. But yeah, he's smart. He likes doing magic himself. He practices making different potions and doing different spells. He actually learns and develops how to not only make wands, but to he actually develops a way to make actual wands stronger, even though he eventually doesn't need a wand. Usually people don't live long enough to get strong enough to not use a wand. A wand is a focusing utensil used to focus magic, and many people use it and then they die before they can actually get strong enough that they don't actually necessarily need a wand. But yeah. So I still need to make his wand, and I do want to make him a sword or a knife of some sort, because I believe that's something he would carry with him, not only for protection, mainly for protection. Anyway, but that's a little bit of Alix, I guess. Like I said, nothing's ever kind of, I feel like I never make sense with stuff like this, but anyway. I guess where I left off last time is probably where V talked about, or not V talked, V brought him back to the pack, really. So yeah, he lived with the pack. She took care of him and did like the things I was talking about, teaching him and all those kind of things. And when around 6 years later, like he would be around 6 at this time, and I'm just gonna set him down, my arm's getting tired. The people who did the raids got a new commander of some sort, and he did not like the wolves. He felt that they were controlling a little bit, like he didn't like that they were like, this is the way it is kind of thing. So he kind of originated this raid where when raids happen, it's like a bunch of groups go like all over the continent, where this raid that he put on the wolf pack was very, very concentrated. It was that it must have been like, it was almost like a war, if you want to think about it. I mean, a pack of 50 wolves, maybe that. He had well over like 300 people set there. He either wanted to keep them to experiment on, or which goes into the whole factory thing, which is what I never talked about with V in her story. So I still need to talk about that, because that would also help you understand a little bit about the raids and stuff. But he either wanted them dead or he wanted them to experiment on. Because he kind of feels like they get in the way of his controlled area. This is his area to control, not yours, is how the commander of the raids felt. So it was basically an ambush attack on the whole pack, and it was kind of just all-out chaos. They lost a lot of people in the pack. The pack probably went down to about 50%, which is a lot when there's 50. And a lot of them were adults, although there wasn't a whole lot of cubs left. Any of the cubs, their parents did live. There was only one cub whose parents ended up dying in the process, which I'll get to in a second. But basically, Alix's father, Alix hid with the cubs. Whenever there's a thing like this, all the cubs go to one area, which is called the safe point. And usually there's different people that are set up to kind of protect everyone, protect the cubs, because they view the cubs as, it's kind of just like a protection of the children kind of thing, really. So there was a lot of fighting that happened, and like I said, this is very chaotic. Like, it was an ambush on this pack. So the person that was supposed to protect the wolves obviously wasn't there, because or the cubs, there wasn't anything there, because where the cubs go is like it's an area away from where the actual pack is living. So yeah, the father, Alix's father was basically who is the alpha. I said that in the previous video. Let's see. I'm trying to think. I'm sorry. Alix's father, who is the alpha, pretty much, was closest to the area, so he was just like, okay, whatever, I'll protect the cubs, and, or not cubs, pups, whatever. I will protect them, you know, my wife is well equipped to help protect the rest of the pack. Like I said, she's not only a very big wolf, she is also a very powerful and strong wolf, so she didn't have a problem going against simple humans, you know? So there was a lot of fighting going on. His father was helping protect the wolf cubs and Alix, and a group of like probably 10 of them came and finally found the area where the cubs were, which probably is what the commander was planning on, because he probably would want the cubs so that way he can experiment on them longer. That was a weird noise that came from the roof. Anyway, so obviously Alix's dad was fighting for his, not only the cubs' life, but for his own life. It's kind of a lot to fight 10 people at once, especially when they're totally geared up and stuff like that. A lot of the people a lot of the raiders either ended up dying or flat out retreating. A good 50% of them probably died as well, which is sad. Like, I hate to say it, my stories are not necessarily always sunshines and rainbows. I'm sorry. There's a lot of killing and death and sadness that happens in my stories. It's just, to me, that's how I keep my characters relatable and real in a way that I like them to be. So, yeah. And, so everything was starting to slow down, so Violet's immediate thought is, okay, I need to check on the cubs now, because who knows, maybe they're dead, because she doesn't know that Alix's father is already there, so she comes running, and at this point, Alix's dad, he's already a pretty old guy. I mean, Alix's mom is fairly old too, but that's mainly because she's magical in some way or another. But he's old for a wolf, so he not only is having troubles fighting, he's also getting tired very quick. He's also fairly weaker. He's getting weak pretty fast. And before she gets to the top of the hill or mountain or whatever, what have you, he ends up getting blindsided and he ends up dying. Which didn't sit well with Alix too much, because like this happened right in front of the cave where they were, if not in the cave. So I've talked about Fee going dark and coming back, and I don't know if I completely talked about it, but I do say when someone goes dark, it's like an explosion of magic in a sense. It's someone taking every bit of magical energy inside their body and just exploding it out, using it to destroy and take it out on anyone who necessarily is attacking them. For Fee, it was the factory. And for Alix, it was the people that were attacking his father. Alix pretty much lost his crap. I don't want to say a bad word. He lost it. He went completely dark, and it was, I mean, it was the act of Alix going dark, which is probably what caused a good majority of the people to leave. Because with Fee going dark, and her power, her magic is fire-based. So usually when people go dark, their powers exude what is their magical base, you know? And Alix's base was death. He actually has death magic. What happens usually is like if someone touches something, it corrodes, it dies, whatever. It's dark magic. It's not good magic. It's not something that anyone would want to have, because not only does it label you as a dark witch or wizard or whatever, what have you, it's just not a good thing. So when Alix starts kind of bursting out with this death magic where the things around him are dying and he's going after these people, it's not a good thing. It's a very scary thing. And luckily the pack probably didn't see him, because like I said, this is all in an area separated from where the pack is. So if he, like, his mother pretty much comes up and sees like the ongoings of him being dark, attacking these people. He also has water-based magic as well, if you guys don't know that. I don't know if I said that before or not. So there's also ice spikes that are coming out. Like I said, when someone goes dark, it's almost like complete chaos with magic. It's like, with Feet, it was almost like an explosion of fire. There was fire everywhere. She set everything on fire. She set people on fire. She caused electrical things to just explode. It is just chaos all around. So it was kind of like the same thing with Alix. Even though he is younger, he was only 6 when this happened. So that's another thing that caused quite a scary thing for someone to be so young and to just go dark and have so much magic within them. It's quite a scary thing. It leads up to be a very powerful person, and it's something I'll get into later as to why these certain things and why going dark is also kind of viewed as a very dark magic, very dark and evil kind of thing. So yeah. What happened now? Oh yeah. So his mother, Violet, comes up the hill. She sees what's going on, and she pretty much goes in to kind of help Alix in a way. She knew that she couldn't stop Alix until she got rid of the people, which luckily they had enough sense that by the time she got there, they pretty much got it away. Not without her getting like stabbed in the eye. I think it's because I wanted her to have some type of interaction, so I feel like that was something that happened. Like she got some type of scarring or something that happened to her that, you know, prolonged the happenings. So, like I said, I'm not a good storyteller, so a lot of my stuff is based on my head because I can't write. I've tried writing stuff and it doesn't, I can't write. I'm dyslexic, so I can't. So a lot of my stories just stay up in my head, and doing that, it kind of leaves things kind of confused. So she's pretty much on the ground hurt, and then Alix goes and pretty much, like, he goes, the guy that hurt Violet turns around to attack Alix. And when he turns around, Alix is already right there in front of him. And Alix basically touches him, and his body basically totally it's a whole thing. He pretty much causes the guy to die while living. And it's a scary thought. Which is why this type of magic is not an okay magic to have. For many people, unless you're like this evil person, which that I can understand a magic that you would want if you're evil and you don't like things like that. For Alix, this is not a good magic to have because he doesn't like things like that. And he ended up causing the person obviously to die, so he then turned around to start walking towards the pack, and we don't know what happened. Or he, like I kind of view things in Alix's perspective, how he views things, like, after that, a lot of the times people don't remember, which he doesn't remember. Really, that is the most part of the story he has ever gotten. So there might have been stuff that happened afterwards, after that point, Um, we don't know. Obviously, I know because I wrote the story. But as far as the story is concerned right now, we don't know what happened. He pretty much went black. He just kind of stopped. And he was himself again. He was perfectly fine. Though the product of going dark, like I said, it takes some of your soul energy. It takes up the energy that causes you to live. So it did hinder him from having magic for many, many years. And it wasn't until he pretty much fully had magic back is when his mother kind of made the decision, you know, let's travel. She made the suggestion to travel and to start, you know, learning the different types of magic and learning just the many different things about the world itself and, you know, stuff like that. So pretty much at Alix's age of like maybe 100, maybe, he actually started traveling the world and stuff like that. But going back to the cubs, like I said, when the raid happened, there's probably one cub whose family ended up dying within the whole thing, and that's what caused, like, here, let me finish what happened. Probably that would be better than trying to explain it without the storytelling. Pretty much what happened, he woke up, you know, he's himself, he doesn't have magic anymore, and it kind of came up as the question, who do we lead? Who leads us? And then there's this cub who has no family, who takes him in, and, I mean, especially with all of this ongoing, like, this stuff that's going on, who takes him on? How does that decision get made? Because these people are already having a hard time. One, they're probably horribly injured. Two, I mean, they probably already have cubs of their own, so they can't really take on another cub. So Violet B. I think the reason I keep wanting to say Fee is I nicknamed Violet V. So I'll just say V. So V kind of took on that role of alpha and became the alpha of the pack, and also became the mother to this cub, which was a great experience for her, because I don't remember if I said it before, so I'm not going to say it. But yeah, she took on the cub as her own child, and Alix and the cub actually grew up pretty, like, they were like really good brothers. It's something Alix probably really needed in his life, especially since he didn't make friends very well. So to have a brother that is a wolf certainly helped him, not only socially, but it also gave him, also helped Alix make friends with other wolves, having a brother that is a wolf. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's kind of where that part of Alix's story stops. It doesn't start again till maybe 200, where Alix is around the age of 200. So yeah, Alix lives a really long year. I think I said what his age at present would be 400. So yeah, they live a really long time. Actually, 400 is probably closing in on the age of around the time Alix probably would have maybe 100 or 150 years left back on his life at present. Like, if you want to add and kind of just guesstimate about how many years he has lifespan wise. Anyway, but that was his story. I hope you guys kind of like this rambling, maybe nonsensical kind of thing, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed his story. It's something I kind of try to make up as I went when I started making his story, because I wanted to include different aspects of his life into his story without it not sounding like I'm just plugging things in. And that's kind of why I like characters that have really long lifespans, because when you have characters that have that lifespan, if there is a story that you want to add into a character's story, it makes it really easy, because you do have that like for a lot of time, emptiness when a character's has a long lifespan, because you're only covering maybe like 30% of like the full character's life whenever you're doing a character like mine, I guess, unless you're that thorough, which I'm not. But yeah, so I guess I probably won't have another character story unless I really want to talk about Alix's mom, which I might, because I think I'm going to give her her own story anyway, just because I won't have her, like, her doll, like, I already have planned to be the last doll I get out of my main 4 characters. So yeah, let me know if you guys would like to hear Fee's backstory. I have already told you a whole lot about her, but there's so much more to her character, so so yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.